Om Shri Mahagणपतये Namaha. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Atha Shriman Narayaneeyam. Dashaka 81. The story of Narakasura. स्निग्धां मुग्धां सततमपितां लालयन् सत्यभामां यातो भूयः सह खलु तया याज्ञसेनीविवाहम् पार्थप्रीत्यै पुनरपि मनागास्थितो हस्तिपुर्यां शक्रप्रस्थं पुरमपि विभो संविधायागतो भूः. The above verse and the next 4 verses of this Dasakam are framed in the Mandakranta meter, which has 17 syllables in each quarter. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, Snigdam Mugdam Tam Satyabhamam Satatam Api Lalayan, always fondling that Satyabhama who was very affectionate and beautiful. Bhuyaha Taya Saha Kalu Yajñaseni Vivaham Yataha. Again, you went to the wedding of the daughter of Yajñasena. Yajñasena is an epithet of King Drupada. Yajñaseni means Draupadi. Partha Prityai Punaha api Manag Hastipuryam Astitaha. Again, to please the sons of Pritha, the Pandavas, you stayed at Hastinapuram for a while. Partha means the sons of Pritha or Kunti, and it denotes Yudhishthira, Bhima or Arjuna. Arjuna is also especially called as Partha. Vibho Shakraprastham Puramapi Samvidaya Agataha Abhuhu. O all-pervading Lord, you also founded a city known as Indraprastha and returned to Dwaraka. Bhadram Bhadram Bhavadavarajam Kauravenartyamanam Twadvachataamahृतकुहनामस्करी Shakrasunuhu Tatra Kruddam Balamanunayan Pratyagastena Sardam Shakraprastham Priyasakamude Satyabhama Sahayaha. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, Bhadram Bhavadavarajam Kauravena Artyamanam Tam Bhadram Kuhana Maskari Shakrasunuhu Twadvacha Ahrita. Subhadra, your auspicious younger sister, whom Duryodhana desired to marry, was carried away by Arjuna in the garb of an ascetic by your words. Subhadra was the sister of Balarama and Krishna. Balarama wanted her to marry his student Duryodhana, and Krishna wanted her to marry Arjuna, his friend. Kuhana Maskari means a fake ascetic. Shakrasunuhu means Arjuna, the son of Indra. Tatra Kruddam Balam Anunayan Tena Sardam Priyasakhamude Satyabhama Sahayaha Shakraprastham Pratyagaha. Balarama was very angry when Arjuna carried away Subhadra. Krishna pacified him, and with Balarama and Satyabhama he went to Indraprastha to please his dear friend Arjuna. Tatra क्रीडन्नपि च यमुनाकूलदृष्टां गृहीत्वा तां कालिन्दीं नगरमगमकाण्डवप्रीणिताग्निः भ्रातृत्रस्तां प्रणयविवशां देवपैतृष्वसेयीं राज्ञां मध्ये सपदि जहृषे मित्रविन्दामवन्तीम्. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, Tatra Kridan, when you were sporting happily in Indraprastha, Kandava Prinitagnihi, you who satisfied God Agni by giving the Kandava forest for his consumption, Yamuna Kula Drishtam Tam Kalindi Mapi Grihitva, taking Kalindi also as your wife. Kalindi, who was seen on the banks of Yamuna, Nagaram Agamahacha, you went back to your city. Deva Bhratritrastam Pranaya Vivasham Paitrishvaseyim Avantim Mitravindam Rajnyam Madhye Sapadi Jahrishe. Also, O you God, from the midst of kings, you quickly took away Mitravinda of the Avanti kingdom, who was the daughter of your father's sister. Mitravinda was afraid of her brothers and she was very much in love with you. According to the Bhagavatam, once Krishna went to Indraprastha to meet the Pandavas. The Pandavas were very happy to see him, and Yudhishthira requested Krishna to stay with them for some time. During his stay, once Krishna and Arjuna happened to see a very beautiful girl on the banks of Yamuna performing a severe penance. Krishna sent Arjuna to her, and Arjuna asked her, O beautiful lady, who are you? Whose daughter are you? From where have you come? What do you want to do? Please tell us. The lady replied, I am the daughter of God Surya. I want to get Bhagavan Vishnu as my pati, and so I am performing this severe penance. My name is Kalindi. In the waters of Yamuna, my father, the sun god, has made an abode for me. I live there. Till I see the god, I will remain here only. Arjuna returned to Krishna and told him all that Kalindi said. Krishna happily took Kalindi in his chariot, and when he returned to Dwaraka, he married Kalindi on an auspicious day. During his stay in Indraprastha, once Krishna became a charioteer of Arjuna and made Agni Deva get the Kandava forest for his consumption. In the Kandava Daha Parva, in the 221st Adhyaya, in the Adi Parva of Sri Mahabharatam of Sri Vedavyasa, the episode of Agni Bhagavan coming to Krishna and Arjuna is described in great detail. The pleased Agni Deva gave to Arjuna the Gandiva bow, 4 white horses, a chariot, 2 queues ever full of arrows, and an armor which could not be broken by anyone. Vinda and Anuvinda were the kings of Avanti. Their sister Mitravinda wanted to choose Krishna in Swayamvara and marry him, but Vinda and Anuvinda stopped her. Mitravinda was the daughter of Rajadi Devi, the sister of Krishna's father. Krishna forcibly carried her away as the other kings were looking on helplessly, and he married her. सत्यां गत्वा पुनरुदवहो नग्नजिन्नन्दनां तां बद्ध्वा सप्तापि च वृषभरान् सप्तमूर्तिर्निमेषात् भद्रां नाम प्रददुरथ ते देवसन्तर्दनाद्यास् तत्सोदर्या वरद भवतः सापि पैतृष्वसेयी. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, Punaha Gatva, then you, once going to the kingdom of Ayodhya. Saptamurtihi Saptavrishavaraan apicha nimeshad badva. You assuming 7 forms and tying up the 7 great bulls in a minute. Nagnajin nandanam tam satyam udavahaha. You married Satya, the daughter of Nagnajit, the king of the Kosalas. Ata deva, then O God, Santardhanadhyaha tatsodaryaha Badram nama te pradaduhu. Santardhana and others gave their sister Bhadra to you in marriage. Varada sa api bhavataha paitrishvaseyi. O boon giver God, she was also the daughter of your father's sister. According to the Bhagavatam, Nagnajit was the king of the Kosala country and he had a very beautiful daughter called Satya. The king had vowed that only the person who controlled his 7 great bulls which had sharp horns would marry his daughter Satya. When Krishna came to know about that declaration of King Nagnajit, he reached Ayodhya, the Kosala city, with a vast army. The Kosala king Nagnajit honored him happily and asked Krishna what he could do for Krishna. Krishna replied that he wanted to marry his daughter Satya and enhance their mutual friendship. Then, assuming 7 forms, Krishna very easily controlled the 7 bulls as desired by the king. The pleased king gave Satya in marriage to Krishna along with many valuable presents. Krishna's father's sister Shrutakirti was married in the Kekaya kingdom. Her daughter was Bhadra. Bhadra's brothers Santardhana and others came forward and gave their sister in marriage to Krishna. पार्थाद्यैरप्यकृतलवनं तोयमात्राभिलक्ष्यं लक्ष्यं चित्वा शफरमवृता लक्ष्मणां मद्रकन्याम् अष्टावेवं तव समभवन् वल्लभास्तत्र मध्ये शुश्रोतत्वं सुरपतिगिरा भौमदुश्चेष्टितानि. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, Parthadhyaihi api akrita lavanam. The target of fish which could not be hit even by Arjuna, who was very good in Dhanurvidya. Toya matrabi lakshyam, which could be seen only by its reflection in the water. Shaparam laksham chitva, hitting the target in the form of the fish. Madrakanyam lakshmanam avrtaha, you took the Madra princess Lakshmana as your wife. Evam tava ashtau vallabhaha samabhavan, thus you had 8 dear wives. The 8 wives are Rukmini, Jambavati, Satyabhama, Kalindi, Mitravinda, Satya, Bhadra and Lakshmana. Tatra madhye, in the meanwhile, Tvam Bhauma Dushcheshtitani Surapati Gira Shishrota. You heard the wicked deeds of Bhaumasura as told by Indra. Smritayatam Pachipravaramadirudastvamagamo Vahannanke bhamam Upavanamivarati bhavanam Vibindan durgani Trutita pritana shonita rasaihi Puram tabat pragjyotishamakurutha shonita puram. The above verse and the next two verses of this Dasakam are composed in the Shikarini meter, which has 17 syllables in each quarter. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, Tvam smritayatam pachipravaram adirudaha. You, mounting the great bird Garuda, who arrived as soon as you remembered it. Anke bhamam bahan, carrying Satyabhama on your lap. Upavanam iva arati bhavanam agamaha. You went to the place of your enemy, Bhaumasura, as though you are going to a garden. Tavat Durgani Vibindan, then breaking the forts of the enemy. Trutita Prishana Shonita Rasaihi, by the blood of the killed army people. Pragjyotisham Puram Shonita Puram Akurutaha. You made the city Pragjyotisha as Shonita Puram, the city filled with blood. According to the Bhagavatam, the demon Bhaumasura snatched away the umbrella of Varuna, Indra's brother, the earrings of Aditi, the mother of the Devatas, and the mountain summit Maniparvata belonging to the Devatas. God Indra came to Dwaraka and complained about all these misdeeds of Bhaumasura. Then Krishna mounted on Garuda along with Satyabhama and went to the capital Pragjyotishapuram of Bhaumasura. To gain entry into Pragjyotishapuram was very difficult. There were barriers of mountains and then there were barriers of weapons. Then there were belts of water, Agni and Vayu surrounding the city. Also, the Asura Mura had encircled the city with 10,000 strong nets. Krishna broke the mountain with his mace Kaumodaki and destroyed other barriers with his arrows. With his Sudarshana Chakra, he cut off the barriers of fire, water and air and cut off the snares of Mura Daitya with his sword. Finally, Krishna frightened the enemies by blowing his Panchajanya conch. Murastvam panchasyo jaladivana madhyatudapatat sachakrena pradalita shira mankshu bhavata chaturdantairdantavalapati birindana samaram ratangena chitva narakamakarostirna narakam. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, Panchasyaha Muraha, the demon Mura with 5 faces, Jaladi Vana Madhyat Tvam Udapatat, he came to attack you from the middle of the ocean. The word Panchasya also means a lion. Just as a lion rushes out of a forest, the five-faced demon Mura sprang up from the ocean. Saha bhavata mankshu chakrena pradalita shiraha chakre. Immediately his head was cut off by you with your chakra. Chaturdantaihi dantavalapatibihi indana samaram narakam ratangena chitva. Killing with your chakra Narakasura, who gave a tough fight and who came with great elephants having four tusks. Dantavalaha means an elephant. Tirna Narakam Akaroho. You made the Asura cross Naraka. That is, you gave him liberation. स्तुतो भूम्या राज्यं सपदि भगदत्तेस्य तनये गजञ्चैकं दत्त्वा प्रजिगयितनागान् निजपुरं कलेनाबद्धानां स्वगतमनसां षोडश पुनः सहस्राणि स्त्रीणामपि च धनराशिं च विपुलम्. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, Bhumya stutaha sapadi asya tanaye bhagadatte rajyam ekam gajam cha dattva. When you were worshipped by goddess Earth, the mother of Narakasura, you immediately gave the kingdom and an elephant to Bhagadatta, the son of Narakasura. Punaha Nagan Kalena Abaddanam Swagata Manasam Strinam Shodasha Sahasrani Apicha Vipulam Dhanarashim Cha Nijapuram Prajigayita. Then you sent the elephants, the 16,000 women imprisoned by Narakasura and who were in love with you, and plenty of wealth to your city Dwaraka. Bhaumasura or Narakasura was the son of Mother Earth. The demon was born to Mother Earth through her touch with God Vishnu, who manifested as the Varaha at the time of his lifting her up from the ocean. The god Vishnu had conferred a boon on Mother Earth, saying that he will not kill her son Naraka without her consent. As Satyabhama was an incarnation of Mother Earth, the Lord took her with him in order to get her consent before killing the Asura. When Narakasura was killed by Vishnu, goddess Earth came to him. She put a flower garland on Krishna's neck and gave him the resplendent earrings of Aditi, the umbrella of Varuna, and also a great gem. Then she bowed to him and prayed thus, O God, my son Bhaumasura's son, Bhagadatta, is very frightened. I have brought him to you. Please protect him and bless him. Krishna blessed and gave refuge to Bhagadatta, the son of Bhaumasura. Then Krishna entered the palace of Narakasura and discovered that the Asura had taken 16,000 princesses forcibly from kings and had kept them as prisoners. When these women saw Krishna, they were enchanted by him and wanted to have him as their pati. Then Krishna sent the women by palanquins to Dwaraka. He also sent chariots, horses, 64 elephants, white in color, having 4 tusks and born in the family of Airavata, and also immense wealth to his city Dwaraka. भौमापाहृतकुण्डलं तददितेर्दातुं प्रयातो दिवं शक्राद्यैर्महितः समं दयितया द्युस्त्रीषु दत्तह्रिया हृत्वा कल्पतरुं रुषाभिपतितं जित्वेन्द्रमभ्यागमस्तत्तु श्रीमददोष ईदृश इति व्याख्यातुमेवा कृताः. This verse, having 19 syllables in each quarter, is composed in the Shardula Vikriditam meter. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, Dyustrishu dattahriya daitaya samam. You went to the heavens along with beloved Satyabhama, who, because of her beauty, put to shame the divine Apsara ladies. Tat Bhaumapahrita Kundalam Aditehe Datum. To give back to Aditi the earrings stolen by Bhaumasura, you went to the heavens. Divam Prayataha, you went to the heavens. Shakradhyaihi Mahitaha, you were honored by Indra and others. Kalpatarum Hritva, there, taking away the Kalpavriksha Parijata from Indra's garden. Rusha Abhipatitam Indram Jitva, defeating Indra, who came to attack you in anger. Abhyagamaha, you returned to Dwaraka. Tattu Shrimada Doshaha Idrishaha iti Vyakyatum eva akritaha. You defeated Indra only to explain to the world that the people who become proud because of riches like Indra thus get ultimately defeated. According to the Bhagavatam, Krishna went to the palace of Indra in Amaravati. God Indra, along with Indrani, worshipped Krishna and Satyabhama. Krishna returned the earrings of Devamata Aditi to him. When Krishna was returning from the heavens, urged by Satyabhama, he uprooted the Kalpavriksha from the garden of Indra and placed it on Garuda. After fighting with Indra and other gods for the Kalpavriksha, he brought it to Dwaraka and planted it in the garden of Satyabhama. Kalpadrum Satyabhama Bhavana Bhuvi Srijan Dveshta Sahasrayoshaha Svikritya Pratyagaram Vihita Bahuvapur Lalayan Kelibedaihi Ashcharyan Naradalokita Vividagatis Tatra Tatrapi Gehe Bhuyas Sarvasu Kurvan Dasha Dashatanayan Pahi Vatalayesha. This concluding verse, having 21 syllables in each quarter, is composed in the Sragdara meter. Addressing God Krishna, the poet says, O Vatalayesha, O God of Guruvayur, Kalpadrum Satyabhama Bhavana Bhuvi Srijan, planting the Kalpavriksha in the ground of Satyabhama's home. Dveshta Sahasrayoshaha Svikritya, accepting 16,000 women as wives. Pratyagaram Vihita Bahu Vapuhu, appearing in every home with so many forms. Keli Bedaihi Lalayan, fondling the women with various pleasant sports. Tatra Tatra Api Gehe Bhuyaha Ashcharyat Naradalokita Vividagatihi. Again, there, in the different homes, you were seen by sage Narada with wonder, performing a variety of activities. Dasha Dasha Tanayan Kurvan, you also got 10 sons from each of the queens. Vatalayesha Pahi, O Lord of Guruvayur, who performed such leelas, please protect me. According to the Bhagavatam, when Devarshi Narada heard that Krishna, after killing Bhaumasura, married 16,000 princesses, he became interested to see the daily life of the god. So Narada reached the beautiful Dwaraka. In the city, Krishna had built many beautiful palaces for his queens, and these palaces were constructed by the architect Vishwakarma. There were more than 16,000 palaces for Krishna's queens. Devarshi Narada entered one exquisitely rich, beautiful palace. He saw that Krishna was seated with Rukmini Devi, who was fanning him. Seeing Narada, Krishna bowed to him and made him have a seat and worshipped him with great honor and inquired Narada what service he could do for him. The sage Narada only sought from the god that he should always remember the god. He took leave of Krishna and entered another palace of Krishna's queens. There Narada saw that Krishna was playing a game of dice with his wife and Uddhava. There also Krishna worshipped Narada with utmost devotion. Sage Narada was filled with great wonder. He got up and went to another queen's palace. There Narada saw that Krishna was fondling his small children happily. When Narada went to another palace, he saw Krishna engaged in a sacrifice. Thus Narada saw the different activities of the god in the various palaces. Seeing the glory of the Yoga Maya of Krishna, the sage Narada was very impressed. He said to Krishna, O Yogeshwara, O Atmadeva, your Yoga Maya cannot be comprehended even by gods like Brahma. O venerable God, the 14 worlds are filled with your fame. Now allow me to live and let me move about in the worlds singing your sanctifying glory. Anujanihi mam deva lokanste yashasa plutan paryatami tavodgayan leelam bhuvana pavanim. Bhagavata Puranam, 10th Skanda, 69th Adhyaya, 39th verse.